frustrated me, especially in the last week, but actually for years, is the amount of money I see being spent on websites and web designers, and none of the websites, well actually most of the websites don't seem to work. So I've put this together and done a little bit of investigations, and I'm going to run through it now. So, but effectively, I'm going to show you the 3 key ingredients. I'm going to make you 3 promises. These 3 promises will show you how to make your website make money for you instead of costing you. All I see, and you will be staggered by the amount of money. If I add up the 300 clients we have here, from small to big to mediums to dead and some back from the dead, it's hundreds of thousands being spent on websites, and very few of them are making money. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to change that, because I deal with this all the time. I deal with various experts, and really I've worked it out. Small little things: just make sure that you've turned off your mobile phones, close the door, throw the dog out, put the husband and wife out, and make sure you can see this and take some notes, okay? And we'll go from here. Okay. Shocking statistic. Okay, this is from Google, by the way. 69%, I know you can read, of businesses don't have a website at all, but nearly everybody shops online before they go out and shop, and that's for goods or services. Be it buying a car, buying a holiday, they'll check online first before they'll even go out. Hiring an accountant, hiring a solicitor, hiring a builder, they'll all check everything online. So even if you're speaking, and even speaking here, I haven't done much of an introduction of myself, because I know where you can Google me and look me up on LinkedIn and all that type of thing. So everything's online now. So, but that's a shocking statistic, and it's something that when you think about it, that if you don't have a website, number one, people won't see you, and if you do, how do you get them to buy from you? All right. So let me just put this up again. Okay, so I'm just going to get that out of the way. But effectively, there's 3 promises I'm going to make here. Okay, you're going to learn, number 1, how to get your website making you money. All right. The second one, getting people to believe you. And I was looking at all the people who registered on this, 37 of them. I checked all of them on their websites, and just I can see why people are logging onto this. Now, I'm an accountant. I turn business around. I shut some down, but I come across the same stuff all the time. So really, I'm summarizing here the key things you need to know when dealing with your website people. And the third thing you're going to learn is how to keep track of people who visit your website and go away without contacting you. Now, that's a new one. It's something you're familiar with without realizing it, but I'll show you how to do that. So that's the 3 things, okay? All right, and as a bonus, there's always a bonus. All right, if you email us after this website is over, kevin@kevinbarry.ie, or log on here to businesses.work.ie. I have various websites. They all point to the same thing. We'll review your website. I've got website marketing guys who I employ, and we'll come back to you with what you need to do to fix it. At least you can hand that page to your website person. Okay, so that's cost nothing. The value, if you do it and you implement it, the value could be limitless. All right, but certainly for an hour's time, it's about 150 quid minimum. You know, so you'll have a chance to type in some questions in that little text box as well, and I'll answer them straight away. And I'm just looking at the time. This will be no more than 30 minutes because I've got places to be after that, and I'm sure you do too. Okay. So, how to get your website making money? Well, if you ask 10 different people, you'll get 10 different answers. But if you ask the people who've got successful websites, they'll tell you one thing. The one thing that every website, the only thing that every website needs to do, okay? Number 1 purpose, okay, is to collect email addresses. That's all it is. Collect email addresses, that's all. No other purpose at all. It's not to get people phoning you. It's not to get people looking at pictures of what you did. But it's certainly, I'm just looking away here at my notes, it's certainly got to, that's what it's got to do. You collect the email addresses in one place, all right? I'm just looking at my little notes here because I wrote them down before I came on. Amazing, I've lost. It's all part of being live though. Adds to the fun of it. Yeah, the thing is, you've got to give them a reason to give you their email address. Now the reason can be, let's just say you're an auctioneer, a free quote. Let's say you're a guy who installs bathrooms. There's a free quote for doing that, or a valuation, or a plumbing review, or an estimate on what an installation cost might be, or a BER. If you're an accountant, could be some type of ebook. But you need people to be typing their email address the same way you typed it in here tonight, okay? And then you mark it back to them. And it's not like you email them one at a time. There's a couple of programs, and I name them and write them down and check them out. One of them is Aweber, AWEBER.com. That allows you put a link on the website. Don't worry about the technicalities here. I'll help you out on that in a moment. But it allows people, when they put the email into your website, it goes to one place, and everyone who does that gets the same email. And if you go to Aweber.com, you'll see how that works. There's little tutorials there. But that's one that does it. The second one that does it is Sales, ACEOFSALES. It allows you just put all the names in one place. Don't have a few of them in your diary, a few of them on your phone, a few of them on your Yahoo inbox, a few of them on your Gmail inbox, a few of them on your private email, a few of them on your work email, a few of them in the front of the car. Just have them in one place. But just remember, that's the only purpose, okay? Your website is your brochure. Forget printing brochures. I know Aldi and Lidl and Tesco do it. Different type of market they've got, okay? Much more immediate, much more perishable. But for anyone in business, your brochure is your website, okay? And when you have your website even half set up, get it up there. It's never finished anyway. You just keep updating it. But that's the number one purpose, collecting email addresses and marketing to them. Have I laboured that to death, okay? And that's all you're going to do. Move this out of the way. Now, second point, okay? I was looking at all the people who registered on this, so this was a good one. If I could find off their email, if I could find their website, I had a look at it and went through it. Okay, and the one thing I can say is, it's amazing. The only way, well, I'll summarize it a bit differently. If I say I'm good at something, it's boasting. If somebody else says I'm good at something, it's proof. So the only way to get people to believe what you were saying is if you've got other customers saying it about you. Now they can say it word of mouth, as you know, is the best way of getting any business these days. But a written statement or a written comment, depending on what service you offer or what products you sell, there should be at least three comments from customers saying how great you were, or how great your after-sales service was, or how great the product is, or how good you were at explaining it, or whatever. But 3 comments every time, per service or per product on the website. Now, I'll make it even easier. A lot of people have Androids or iPhones these days. Even, I'm looking around my own now, but it's charging over here. But even just spontaneously, and the less choreographed, the better. Just 30 seconds, say, tell me again why you're so happy with this. Save it, the computer geek that you are will put it on the website or up on YouTube again, or at least you have it. And ask people's permission, is it okay to use this in my marketing? All right, that's how that works. Simple as that, okay? But the way to get people believing you, customer comments, videos on YouTube, that's how it goes, okay? Get them, keep them, and that's how it goes. The last one, now this one is a little bit freaky. Coming back to you now again in a moment. I get worried about me disappearing. Okay, now the last one is a thing called retargeting. Kind of a new thing, but you're familiar with it. Do you know when you look at, I don't know, you might look at a holiday or look at a flight or look at a house for rent or a house for sale or a car. That's why you look at it, you go away. But my God, a couple of days later, you're looking at a completely different website and the ad is there again, or there's an ad kind of bringing you back to what you looked at a day or two earlier. That's called retargeting. So now this is a real powerful thing. Just remember the first thing I spoke about there, which is staying in touch with your customers. So let's just say they look at the website and go away. And you're kind of wondering, you know, the ad I did, is it working or not? What this does is you put a thing called a pixel. Okay, it's a code. I'm going to show you what it looks like now in a second. You put a code into your website, and when people look at your website and go away, would you believe the website keeps track of them and tells your advertisers, you know, follow this guy or girl around and keep telling them about me. So it could be service your car, sell them envelopes, sell them a holiday, whatever it is. They've looked at your website, they haven't contacted you or nothing, all right, but it follows you around. It's real creepy, but it's very easy to do, awfully easy to do, and it's called pixels, okay? So I'm going to show you what they look like now, and don't get afraid. It's pretty nice. Okay, here we are. Okay, the famous word, who's heard of that? Okay, that's what it looks like. Now that's half a pixel that I'm using on something at the moment, or I'm using on a client's website actually. And it's about 3 times that long. Now you're never going to write this down. But if you have a Facebook business page or you have a Google account, when you're setting up your advertising, don't worry about this, we can help you with this. We kind of give this to your website guy and say, put that into your web page, into your contact page, or into your home page, or into your where we are page, or into our favorite services page, or whatever. Put it in there, okay? And it kind of goes behind the scenes. It won't be in the way or anything, but that's what it is. But it allows your advertising to follow people around. So people might look at you, think about buying, go away. It takes about 9 attempts for people to think about buying something to actually buying it. That's looking at it, pricing it around, looking at it again, asking, and then they buy. That's how it goes. And there's other little ingredients, but that's really it. So I like this story. This is from a different guy called Jeff Ronin. He had this excuse, and you got to think of, I'm thinking of all the clients I have. They have websites that look a bit like that dusty gas station. When they were set up, it was brand new. Okay, lovely awning. Everywhere there was no grass growing around. Everything was shining and new. But then a new road went by, traffic away. Now think of that gas station. It was busy, it was brand new, and everything was going well. Then a new road came by, and less traffic came by. Less money was coming in, so people got let go. The business couldn't afford to pay for itself. Nothing got cleaned. The maintenance didn't get done. No one was turning up because there was no one getting paid, and eventually it became dusty and old, and people just stopped even calling in there with their cars to get petrol. So it's a bit like that with websites. Unless you keep them up and keep them kind of current, it doesn't work. Now I looked at one of you who's on this webinar right now. I looked at one of your website last night. It had lovely pictures, and the pictures said things like, I'll pretend it was an accountant, I'll pretend it was a lawyer. We're the best lawyers, we're the best accountants, we do the best business. Okay, it was them talking about themselves. But number one, it didn't explain who the business owners were. It didn't give any photographs, it didn't give any names, it didn't give any story about them at all. So it's faceless. The second thing is, it had no comments from a customer, and this went for 8 of the websites I looked at last night. No comments from a customer saying, this is what you should expect from these people because they're great at it. No comments at all. There were nice pictures that were done kind of from a showroom, but there was no pictures of the finished product in the customer's faces. It didn't give proper directions to where they were. It didn't give, would you believe it didn't give a phone number either? Unbelievable. And there was just so much missing, but yet it was clearly a new website. Okay, now easy fix. But really, it was just like holding up a sign saying, hello, I'm here. That's all it did. But when you have people coming there, you need them to come in the door. Okay? So that's 3 things. Okay? Now just remember the main purpose of the website is to get people contacting you. Okay? So, how's my time? Alright. More than you. I've got places to go. Sorry about that thing up. But the dusty gas station website is a killer. If anything, it'll put people off. They'll never be back. Okay? Don't let that happen. So what have I shown you? I made you 3 promises, okay, and zoom by here, I'll go back on that one. 3 promises were, I was going to show you and explain to you what the number 1 purpose is of a website, which is collect email addresses that you can remarket back to you. That's the number 1 all the time. The second thing is how to get people to believe what you're saying. You put real comments on there from real customers. Simple as that. Okay, don't make them up. I was present recently when a young lady had to explain why these comments were on a website that clearly weren't true, and I tell you, it was cringing to watch. You'll get caught out and they'll look wrong as well, and you can always send them a mile off. And the third thing is how to keep track of people visiting. Okay, there's the three things I promise I'll do, and this will help you make money out of your websites. Instead of paying a couple of $100 a year to a guy just to have the name up there, maybe another $500 a year to someone to maintain the website, and you're spending money putting it into ads that no one reads, you know, so this can be a real drain in your business, but very easy fix. And just remember the first statistic: almost 70% of people in small business don't have websites at all, yet 97% of people do look at the online situation before they even pick up. No one picks up the golden pages anymore, they look online. You get the idea, okay? So I'm going to see if any of you want to type in any questions. And okay, how much should a website cost me to set up if you don't intend using it? Oh yeah, okay. If you don't intend using it that much. Okay, a website, one place, the first website I set up, right, cost me $100 US. I'll give you one place. Smallbusinessyahoo.com is, write it down, smallbusinessyahoo.com is a great place for pricing websites. Okay, where am I gone? Pretty hard to come back again. Yeah, Small Business Yahoo. Google it, and you can set up your email addresses, your website, and loads of templates. It's pretty much idiot-proof, and you can be live tonight. Loads of other things have to be done after that, but if you want a website up there, you just want to talk about it, call it ibuildhouses.com, icuptaxes.ie, iselltelevisions.co.uk, whatever. Small Business Yahoo, $100 gets you up there. Then you get fancy. It's like someone saying, I'll go back to the house analogy, I want to build a house. Is it a Rolls Royce in a house, or is it a Morris Minor? You get the idea. What is the domain name? Okay, that's a basic one. Easy. That's just like having a sign outside the door. It's the best way I like to describe it. There might be nothing, you might walk through the door and the place, there's nothing happening. So domain name just holds the name, it's the sign. But when you click on it, if there's no website behind it, nothing happens. Just like a sign over a building. You walk in the door like those old westerns where it's a set, and there's a sign that you walk in and you're out in the field again. Okay, so I'm not technical, but who would you recommend for me to build a website? Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I won't recommend anyone at the moment. Facebook for business is free. There's one. You can build it yourself, is what I'm saying. Just jump back a small bit before that, though. Before you build a website, on one page, write down what you want the website to say. So, it doesn't really start with your name, even though mine kind of has a punchline. But effectively, design it on paper and say, right, this is how I'd like it to look. It could be, I design clothes.co.uk. Okay, I design clothes, there's pictures of clothes or something like that. But effectively, write it down on a piece of paper, because if you try and explain to a designer, a website guy or girl, this is what you want, and then you'll keep changing your mind, you won't be anywhere. So get the pen and paper up first, have a go there. And ask for referrals, ask people you know, or look around, see who's got a good website, and go down to the bottom and you'll generally see who designed it and check it out. There may even be grants. Okay. Okay, just looking. Yeah, those are the only questions I have. Maybe you got all the answers. Okay, let me just check, is there any new ones in? Oh, fantastic, you all know everything. Even better. Anyway, last part I will say, because I'm really finishing on schedule here, is this webinar simply was brought out of frustration, all the money being chucked away on these websites. None of them are doing anything, and some of the IT people are great, and some of them aren't, just like accountants. But you need to know a bit more yourself before you entrust someone to putting up the face of your business, okay? So, but if you think of nothing else right now, just remember the purpose of the website is to collect email addresses and then you market to them. Key thing, if you just think of that, okay? The next part, aweber@aceofsales.com, we'll nav that, and how you keep track of people who visit the website. It's like looking in the door and going out, but you still kind of follow them around. That's the Facebook targeting. There's loads more, but those are the key things. If you think of that, you'll be fine. Okay. Last part, normally this type of website. Don't forget my website offer, by the way. If you'd like us to critique your website, if you have one, just email us, kevin@kevinbarry.ie. Email us, go onto that businessthatwork.ie or barryaccountants.ie, a few various websites. These are domain names. They all point to the same place. Email us and we'll critique them. We'll be back to you within a week with what you need to do. It'll be a one-page PDF and you can hand it to your website designer and they'll fix it for you. We have a separate membership site worth taking a look at if you want to, and it's keeping us, I'll tell you, it's keeping us busy. Earlier, this one here, barryaccountants.ie/membership. There's loads of little offers we do on there. It's the incredibly cheap price of €20 per month. It's nearly $20 per month now, and it's about 15 sterling, is it? My God. But effectively, we've almost 100 people, and it's rising by 2 or 3 a day, where we can have a list of items that are only focused on increasing sales and increasing profits going on. Okay, so it's like a college course, but it's not a college course. Okay, so but it's all private. This is a small preview of what we do on that. But anyway, it's worth a look. Okay, that's it. I'm going to close now, and I'm 5 minutes ahead of schedule. Anyway, best of luck, and feel free to email us after this with any other queries. Thanks very much. Bye for now.